Hello, 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 and welcome to the Rag Company podcast. This here is a DETALKSCAST, and you know why? That's because we have a guest in our midst.
Hey!
None other
Levi
than...
Gates.
No.
We ruined it.
Oh,
Well,
sorry.
Oh, maybe you saw another guy in the corner. I think his name's Pan?
Pan. The Organizer. Hey, guys.
Yeah, there we go.
Thanks
All
for
right,
having me on the show, by the way.
Yeah. Well,
Flew in
let's-
all the way. His arms are tired. All
Yeah.
9 yards.
Knees weak, arms are heavy.
24 hours without sleeping, guys, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
He's a trooper. He showed up at the airport. We picked him up today. And he was like, I've been up for 24 hours.
Yep.
I'm a little tired. And we're like, we're glad you're here.
Well, and what's
Let's get to work.
Yeah, Ivan LaCroix has said it's easier to fly from Montreal to Saudi Arabia than it is to fly from Montreal to Boise. So
First time here, by the way, too, Boise, Idaho. Never even knew where it was on the map, so now I'm aware.
Well, glad we could educate you
Yeah.
on that. But why don't you educate us about you? Why don't we just
Who
kinda,
is
who is
Pan
Pan
the Organizer?
So let's find out.
All right, well, for the viewers out there who haven't seen my videos, I'm a YouTuber, so I mainly do car detailing videos on YouTube. I started in April 2016, so just over 2 years ago now. I'm from Montreal, Canada. Bonjour à tous les auditeurs en français.
hey,
So
hey.
that's in
Hey.
French.
And I would like
French.
to point out, Pan does something very unique with his
Yeah.
videos. He doesn't just make one video about something. He actually makes it twice.
Yeah.
But there's a very good reason for that.
Yes.
Why is that?
Well, I make videos in 2 languages, so English and French. So I cater to a worldwide audience, but I have to film everything twice, so that it's double the work. But I enjoy it because it's a passion of mine. So yeah,
When you're one of the only guys that does it.
I think so.
Yeah.
The goal
Seriously.
was to expose my passion for detailing to as many people as possible, and the French-speaking population around the world just love detailing just like anyone else. So I'm like, why not go out there and shoot videos, and hopefully it can inspire others to
Yeah.
do it in Greek. That's my third language, by the way, but in other languages too. So
A
hopefully
bag
there's
of
some
tricks he
detail.
is.
Very
Look at this
cool.
guy. He's like, he
Nice.
pulls out another one. And we're like, what?
How long before the Greek videos?
Yeah.
So does that mean we go to
I've
the Euro
actually had
Shack
many
tomorrow?
requests from viewers in Greece. I'm still thinking about that one, but
Okay.
we'll try it. I'll do one and we'll see how it goes.
Doesn't hurt.
How cool.
Very
Sweet.
cool.
That'd be rad.
So, sorry to interrupt. Continue. Where are you from? What do you do?
Yeah, so I'm from Montreal, Canada, and again, so I started detailing roughly 21 years ago now. So when I was 16, I'm 37 now, and it was just a thing of passion. You all start the same way, I think. Maybe you guys can relate to your stories, but
Yeah,
essentially,
I'm a year older than you, Pan.
oh, you are? Okay, I didn't even know your age. You don't look your age, so that's good.
Thank you.
So yeah, essentially,
Flattery
my
will get
dad
us.
bought me my first car. So it was a Toyota Tercel in 1990 for my graduation in high school. So
Yeah.
Dad, thank you. And like any good dad, he told me, well, you have to wash it. And at 16, you don't really know how to do those things. So I essentially asked him, well, how do you do it? Look at me, I don't know. I never wash my car. Ask your mom. She gave me dishwashing liquid and a sponge. And right away, I said, there has to be a better way to do this.
Yeah.
To me, it made no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Using something that harsh used to clean dishes and to do cars. So
Well, the paint felt different too after you got done washing.
oh
it.
yeah,
I know.
exactly. No, it wasn't fun at all, and I don't know. It just gave this bland look to the paint. So I love to do research on a lot of things, and I went ahead on back in the day. We used to have car forums. YouTube
Yeah.
didn't exist, so yeah, I just went ahead on enthusiast detailing forums and found out different ways that I could detail a car, use different products. So I started doing so, and I saw the end results, and then from then I started detailing cars for friends and family. I'm sure you guys have done the same.
Yep.
And so from so on and so forth, I enjoyed it so much that it became truly a thing of passion. And as the years went by, I started seeing detailers do this on YouTube, which is the new thing now. Pretty much everybody, when they want to search how to do stuff, well, your first reaction is, let's go see on YouTube.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's also where I met you guys.
Yep.
So I
It
said,
is,
well,
hey.
actually, my girlfriend, if I remember, she told me, listen, you're so passionate about this. Why don't you go ahead and start your own channel? You can get your point across. You're somebody who likes to educate people and have fun doing it and see how it goes. So we were sitting down during a meal at the restaurant, and she's the one who actually came up with a concept. She knows that I'm OCD about organizing everything in my life. So from budget to cleaning the house to just making sure everything's in tip-top condition. So it's not only the car, guys. I'm really obsessed with cleanliness in general. And she's like, why don't you call it Pan the Organizer? It's natural. So it'd be natural for you to show your passion for organization and detailing to your viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started my first couple of videos. Of course, looking back now, I find they all look ridiculous, but you all have to start somewhere. And here I am today. And the Rag Company, well, I'm happy to be here with you guys because you were among the first to believe in me. I think I had like 9,000 subscribers at the time. And we reached out to each other and I did a review on some of your towels. And by the way, I was not sponsored. They never paid me a single penny.
That's right.
So every time a YouTuber talks about a product out there, I know everybody goes, oh, he's sponsored by the company. No. If I do a sponsored video, I clearly mention it at the beginning of the video as per YouTube regulations. And the Rag Company, well, they grew organically. And here I am today to share their passion for the products that they do. I love their products. Obviously, you guys have seen me use them. You've seen them win first place in my 2017 and 2018 Car Detailing Products Awards video.
Yep.
So they're serious about what they do. And so when they invited me over, I'm like, absolutely, let's go ahead and see what they're about in person. And I can tell you, they're as genuine as you see them on camera.
Thank
what
you.
you see is what you get.
Yeah.
I like to think that.
They can clown
We try
around.
to
They can
have
be
fun,
serious.
yeah.
They know their stuff. These guys are serious. Thanks for having me. And essentially, that's how I started. So it's basically the goal of my channel is to share my passion for detailing with as many people as possible, and hopefully get you guys to go out there and enjoy doing the same. So whether it's the basic car wash all the way up to how to apply a ceramic coating, I want to make it easy for people to understand. So it can be very difficult. That's how the professional world wants to make you believe it is, but it can also be very simple. If you have the right tips, tools, and tricks, and the Rag Company is all about that too. You've seen their videos, and you know how they are. So I'm honored to be here. And
Thanks for being here. Yeah,
no, we appreciate you
Thanks for
coming.
having you.
Yeah. So have you been in Montreal your whole life?
Yes.
Born and raised?
Born and raised, yeah. A little city called Brossard, South Shore of Montreal, but essentially, Montreal all my life, 37 years of it. And I love it, but I have to admit that being here in Boise, Idaho, it's another vibe. There's no...
A good vibe, or what
what is
a
it?
relaxed,
Vibe?
laid-back vibe. We don't get that in the big cities like Montreal.
Really?
It's hustle and bustle all the time.
Yeah.
You feel you have to perform and work, and you're like a robot. Here, as soon as I got here, wow, the vibe is totally different.
Well,
It's
everything's a little
Probably
slower
in
around
the
here.
airport, probably the first
Yeah.
thing you notice when you step off the plane and you're looking around like,
That's it.
Where is
everybody's
everybody?
pretty calm.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not hectic. It's not
Totally
yeah.
different. Yeah.
We're,
So I
we're
like
very
that.
chill
Yeah.
here.
Absolutely.
It is. Hopefully, you don't get you don't fall too far in love with it.
Oh,
the river is.
Well, I asked if you
She's
guys
a
had a
beast.
spot for me. Yeah.
The river. Yeah.
The river. Let's just say she casts spells on people.
does
just so you know.
Yeah.
Just be aware of that.
Okay.
But yeah, no, we're excited to have you and excited
you.
that you're here. And when you first reached out, one thing that I found that was so neat was that you were doing bilingual videos, because that was huge, because we had just launched in Europe and we were growing our company here. And it was really neat to see how it could, how it was able to expand, how you were able to get, because our whole goal is we just want people to use our towels.
Yeah.
And if we can provide education behind it on how to use them or why to use them or all the different stuff, because it's crazy when people fall into this world of microfiber and they're used to first we'll grab that Costco towel.
Yeah.
That's going to be the towel I'm going to use. And you're like, wow, this is a really good towel. This is amazing. And then you start going like, can it be better?
What else is there?
Yeah.
What else is there? And then you see
Yes, it
another
can.
towel that maybe is green. And you're like, oh, that's a cool color.
It's like the Costco towel, but green. Yeah.
But, yeah. Or red or whatever, or a bigger size. And you're like, where'd you get that? How'd you do that? And that was how I found it, was the same way. Like I was like you. I was a kid learning how to detail, although I had the added benefit that my parents were both detailers. And so when I went out to wash my parents' car, that was my chore growing up. I had a cabinet full of detailing products. They were old school stuff. Carbright,
Yep.
Pro.
Yep.
I had some old Car Beauty, different products like that. Old school paste
Be honest,
wax.
did you have a bit of Armor All in there?
I did have Armor All in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all did.
So had a bunch of that stuff. So I always had a good kit to utilize that was my dad's stuff, and he helped me. He taught me some things, but like you, I had to still learn it for myself, and always wanted to know. But it took me a lot. I mean, it took me a long time just learning and doing it for a job and trying to pick and choose. But for me, that was the same. You know, once I figured out microfiber, it was like, oh, this opens up a ton of doors.
Absolutely.
There's a ton of different ways you can work. And so it was nice to have somebody like yourself. You know, we were able to have a discussion. I was able to write out some ideas and some options for you and explain what each thing's for and what it works. But you were able to give that information out that has not only benefited you and your channel, but is benefited tons of customers, because like the whole reason we do this is for education.
Yes.
And, you know, from the very, I was telling you the first video Dane and I did, and we're doing it, you know, in my shop, you know, we did it in the warehouse at the old location. And
how to clean a window.
It was window cleaning and drying towels.
Yeah.
And those were the 2 videos we did. And then the rest of it was like, let's do it in my shop because it's a lot nicer and bigger.
But we did it somewhere. Huh?
But we did it out there. But it was, it's just, let's go for it. Let's just try it.
Yep.
You know, we've got to, let's see what we can do. You know,
if you don't try, you'll never know. And that's another thing. Like, for me, watching a lot of other YouTubers before the car detailing scene came on, if I think of Casey Neistat and MKBHD and a bunch of other cool YouTubers, I was like, well, how is it? I tried to understand what they do and what they bring to their viewers and how I can translate it to my passions.
Exactly.
So I brought this, I think, to car detailing, and you guys do the same. So I like to see that we're sort of a community on YouTube.
Yeah.
And lots of positivity. And yeah, that's it. So basically everyone here is out for the same purpose, is to transmit their passion. And that's one thing I noticed about you, Levi. The first time we communicated, I was like, wow, this guy's giving me so much details on so much towels. My mind just, it exploded.
Yeah.
Because for me, okay, you had a couple of towels, microfiber wash mitt. I already knew enough, I thought, about microfiber products until I spoke to these guys. Trust me when I tell you they're passionate. It was insane. So I had this total list of, it wasn't even the color anymore. Now it's the weave and how much polyester, polyamide, and where they're made.
GSM.
Wow,
and,
GSM.
Yeah.
So once you get to understand all that and you actually get to use the towels, well, you understand that, yeah, they do have a purpose. And one point that our viewers are going to see on your channel and on my channel is we're going to try and demystify, because yes, there can be a lot of products out there, but once you understand the basics and you start and build your own basic kit, well, you build off from there.
Yep.
So as you evolve and as you grow, your needs change. Maybe you're not doing paint polishing at the beginning and you won't need that specific towel. But as your business grows, or even if you're a DIY enthusiast at home, you get to learn new techniques and to use tools, and the appropriate tools can make a difference. So,
So going just not only microfiber, but the other companies that you've been able to do, is it for you, is it as fun to learn about all these products all the time? I mean, because you go through a lot of stuff.
Crazy.
And I love that if I have a question, I go on your channel and see if you've reviewed something or have, it's because it's not just detailing. You do a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that you go through.
I love to present. Well, first of all, people have to know that if a product or a brand makes it onto my channel, it's because I tested it. It's something that I would personally use or buy on a daily basis, and I have vetted for it.
Yeah.
If something's not good, I won't do like some other people. I won't name them, but I just won't talk about them. So if it's on my channel, it's because I personally believe in it. And what I like to do is speak directly with the owners or the people working for the business.
Yeah.
So for example, I talk about the rag company. I just don't want the company to either send me stuff or for me to buy without having more details. So I want to get the nitty and gritty. I want the details. I like to geek out on that stuff, and I'm sure your viewers and my viewers love that too. So we want to know, what's the purpose behind it? How does this tool work? What are the best techniques? Ceramic coatings, for example. Well, some coatings are different than others. Some have quicker flash times, so you try and want to explain that. So if you have an access to either the CEO or a person well placed within the company, or even the chemist sometimes, and he gives you tips and tricks, well, I like to relay that to the viewers.
Yeah.
It enhances their ability to do a better job with the product. Because oftentimes the comments I get is, well, I bought this product, I really didn't know how to use it, and I don't think it performs well. Well, it's not because the product isn't good. Maybe you just don't know how to use it. So what I try to bring to the table is, not only do I present the products, but I give tips and tricks on how to properly use them and how to get the best out of them.
Yeah.
So I want a person to have the same experience I do at home, or that you do with 20 plus years of experience. So to be able to replicate that to a certain extent and to enjoy the result and say, wow, I can do it too. So that I think is pretty cool. So it is tough, but I do like to talk with the brands and the people behind the brand and try to understand the product. So it's just not talking about a product and you see me use it and the result is amazing, because it's easy to get a beautiful result on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because camera doesn't necessarily relay all the the time, all the finer details in the paint.
Every dirty car is clean, according to commenters.
Yeah. Why did you do that on a dirty car? It is dirty.
It is.
It doesn't look dirty to me.
Yeah.
There's mud everywhere.
You can't win.
No, it's not enough, huh?
That's fake mud.
That's one true thing, though. Some viewers out there are very demanding, and I understand, but they have to understand that it's not everybody who has a muddy car or a car has come back from a rally. People maintain their cars. I know I wash mine twice a week.
Yeah,
so even on my videos, it always looks clean because, well, it's half decently clean.
My favorite is always that car's not dirty enough. Why are you using a waterless wash on it? It's like, because that's when you
that's
use
the
a
whole
waterless
point.
wash.
Exactly.
It's when it's not that dirty.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to use it on a muddy truck. They're like, can't use that product on a muddy truck. Right.
That's
Why
exactly
would you?
right.
Yeah.
Like,
common sense,
get a pressure washer and spray it off.
Absolutely.
Like, do like I used to do in the old days. You park your truck after you've taken it up in the mountains, and you stick your sprinkler underneath it, and park it on your grass. Put your sprinkler underneath the truck, turn on the water, and let that sprinkler go all night, and it's just going to wash the underside of the truck. Then you come out, and then you pressure wash everything off, and try and get out of there before your dad sees what you just made a mess in the yard.
I can imagine all the water spotting issues on the paint too.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if the truck's big enough, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. No, well, I think one of the most impressive things about Pan and his channel, when you told us your hours of editing and the hours that go into the channel, and this is something that I think we should cover for a couple of minutes, is what people don't see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Behind the videos, right?
Yeah.
The time it takes to edit these videos. Some of you will never understand that, and that's okay. It has
It's
to be
not to
okay.
be condescending. This is just laying out how it works.
You know, depending on the programs you're using, depending on what kind of footage you're shooting, if you're shooting in 4K, 1080p, and all this stuff, at a certain point, everything comes down to your computer hardware and things that you're using to edit these videos, and rendering times and exporting times. And then upload times, and then
your
it's all
experience
these
as an editor.
and then all these experiences as an editor. It's not like somebody else is editing this video for us, right? I mean, we have to edit these videos, we have to shoot these videos. So I think it would be, for people listening, it'd be cool to hear how you tackle that and what goes into that.
In my case, the tough part about it, I'm a one-man band, so I have to film in both languages. I do videos in English and in French, so I have to film everything twice. I never script my videos, or very, very rarely do I do, so it's all ad lib. So as soon as I start shooting, it comes out of my mouth the way it is. And then one video, people don't know this, but it will take me anywhere from roughly 10 to 15 hours per video.
Yeah.
And that's beginning to end. So as you all know, detailing alone is very demanding, and it just drains your energy. So for the viewers out there to have a level of understanding of what YouTubers do, imagine adding on top of that filming, shooting, editing, creating your custom thumbnail, writing the text for the description, uploading, talking about it on social media. So all that, it takes a lot of time. Thank God it's a thing of passion, I think, for you guys too. But it is a lot of work. So sometimes you'll see a comment of a person that, he noticed that you blinked twice for some reason, or you said this word there. And I hope that's not the only thing they take away from the video. Because you have to realize, wow, you watched 15 or 20 minutes of final edited video, which probably took me 15 hours of work. I hope that's not all you took away, that single point where I misspelled or missaid a word or used a different accent or what have you. So thank God most of the viewers out there are very positive, but there are always these internet trolls. I'm sure you've seen them. Who
They
come
exist.
and just break your party sometimes.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of work making YouTube videos. It's a thing of passion. So when you do see them and you enjoy them, smash the thumbs up button. Write a comment.
It means a lot.
Show them support.
Yeah.
It tells us that what we're doing, you guys are appreciating, and you acknowledge the hard work that's behind it. So I think that's an important thing to realize, just how much time and effort these YouTubers put behind their videos.
Well, and to our credit, that's all Dane did all of this for.
I pushed
literally
really hard to get a YouTube channel going, because film has always been my thing.
Dane went to
You
school
like that?
for that. That's what he did. And so to come back from film school,
and then work in a hardware store for 5 years, and then be able to actually do video stuff again. Oh my God, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it made it fun for him. And then
it couldn't happen soon enough.
But that was funny. Is like he sat at a desk at his parents' in their garage working on towels, and he was like, "Dad, do you think I make a video about this stuff that makes it a little easier,
No,
just
we
so
got to
he could
answer
exercise
emails and
his
phone calls and
his creative part of his brain."
I love that.
And that's how it started. And Anthony has his own YouTube channel. that he does. He hates when we mention.
We love
I hate when you talk about it. It's not.
What's the name of the channel, Anthony?
No, it's nothing. Just keep
All
going.
Day Anthony.
No,
All
I
Day
just.
Anthony?
Yeah, I
He's
just.
a moto vlogger.
No, I hate that word too. I just make videos on motorcycle stuff and car stuff every once in a while.
But it was these guys. I don't do this. I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to shoot this stuff. I just am. I guess for lack of a better word, I'm talent.
He's likable on camera. That's what we got.
These guys
and experience.
But these guys do stuff that
It's amazing. Yeah.
it blows me away. So for you guys to be able to do this and spend the time and edit and write the description and post it and do all that stuff, I always ask them, how did you guys do that? How do you do this? How do you do it? Because I don't know that. I know how to clean cars. That's literally all I've done my whole life. And so this is a new venture for me that I am fascinated by.
It is.
Love
it's another world.
being a part of it and being able to be, because I work for the rag company, be a face of it and be a part of this, to do this stuff with these guys. But to watch them do that, and then to see Tim, our editor, who's a lot younger than these guys, we're 10 years older than they are.
Yeah.
And then they are 10 years older than, the next set. And so to see that third generation, so to speak,
Coming up, it's amazing.
doing this stuff and having it automatic, having it, that's their life. Like,
it's second nature.
it blows me away. It blows me away.
Absolutely.
To see where this goes, and also just to see where business goes now.
Yeah.
Like the fact that, there are folks that can make a living on YouTube is just...
It is mind-boggling.
It's crazy. Yeah. I just went to my 20-year reunion, high school reunion, and it's surprising to talk to people. I talked to one of the guys, and he was like, I've been watching your YouTube channel. It's pretty awesome. I was like, thanks, man. We have a lot of fun with it. And he goes, I make running videos on YouTube. I go running. And I just set my camera down, and I go trail running in the foothills.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what you do? And he's like, well, I'm a math teacher, too.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay then, but that's
see
like,
how he prioritizes in his mind what's more important.
Yeah, but he makes videos
His
of him
passion
running,
is-
and he goes I love going at certain times, so I can get sunrise, sunset, I can get wildflower shots, I can get some pretty cool. I was like, you need to tell me your channel. I need to start watching some of this stuff
right.
just because I want to see. Like,
I'll never dismiss someone's passion in life, because you never know. The viewers out there, I'll take car detailing, for example. I remember my first couple of videos, my dad came up to me, super, super serious guy. He's Greek, so like all Greek fathers, they're very, discipline is a huge thing. And I remember looking at me, he looked at me and he said, why would you waste your time doing videos on how to clean cars? I just don't get it. And so I told him, give me a chance. You see how passionate I am. And he saw the channel grow. And today it's like one of the first things he says, my son, he's a YouTuber. His YouTube channel has lots of people listen to him. So he's kind of proud now. So, and I watched, I don't remember which show, but it was, they had done some statistics on the newer generations. And it's the first time in history where one of the top 3 jobs that people dream of, well, now a YouTuber is part of it.
Yeah.
And we are a testament to the fact that if you believe in it, if you work hard, you can achieve your dreams. So it's not as easy as just taking your camera. Some people think, oh, I can do it too. No, it's not that easy. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication. Trust me, the people who have made it in the millions of subscribers or hundreds of thousands of subscribers, the amount of work they put in is mind-boggling. They work really hard at it. So it's not, you don't click your fingers and boom, you have 100,000 subscribers and you live with your YouTube channel. So it's a lot of work, but it's so amazing being able to exchange. That's one thing I found, and I think Matt from Obsessed Garage is the same. He not only was able to take the things he had in his head and put them out there for people to listen. It was kind of a therapy for him. We call it detailing therapy, but it was also a way to communicate with people who share the same passion.
Yep.
You realize that you're not alone out there.
Yeah.
There are people who love taking hours to clean their cars. So to our neighbors, we look crazy because they'll look at you and like, geez, 8 hours? What are you
Anthony
doing?
said you got videos where you've had your camera on your head or your chest.
Yep.
You had the GoPro and you're out there washing your car talking while you're washing and the neighbors walked out and was what are you doing?
Well, he's a crazy person.
Well,
Where's the camera on
well,
his
it's
head?
funny because I've just done random things like I've had a GoPro in my head while I'm changing my oil, right? Talking about changing oil on a motorcycle or something like that, right? And somebody walks out and they see me and they're like,
"What are you doing?
What are you doing?" And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I make videos sometimes on YouTube, and it's just, and they're like, "Oh, Cool, and it's weird. What's weird is that you would think that they would, you would think they would say something like, "Oh, weird," or whatever it is. That's when there's a pause, and then they say, "What's your channel? I'll look you up." And I'm like, oh,
They're curious.
I'm like, they're curious now.
Yeah.
But I'm like, is that more weird if I just tell them, or do I just go with it? And
and for me too, what's crazy is we'll go on our adventures, and Dane will be the one that all of a sudden he's just got his phone out or a camera out, and we're walking down an aisleway in an airport, and Dane's got his camera out.
Or that annoying tourist who's documenting everything.
And
you never know.
There are trips where I'm not with them, because when we go on these trips, I just let Dane run the camera. I don't think about it.
Yeah.
No, you guys just be you, and I'll capture it.
And with the magic
Capture
of
it.
editing,
Yeah.
it brings the
Something
story
that's
forward,
like-
right?
But when I went to the UK with Jeff, it was me and Jeff, and Dane's like, I need you to document it. I need video. I need you to send it.
And you were not used to that.
And I was like,
You don't have your support cast.
okay,
though.
I'll try. And so it was like just trying to remember to pull my phone out and record as we're walking down out of the airplane, or we're getting ready to land, or we're doing this kind of stuff. Just
gotta get
the
the shot.
experience. Like, here we are walking through the village, through
But you know what the
Coventry
problem
and
is?
all
If
that
you're
stuff,
taking all those pictures, then you're not in the pictures. So.
Yeah, and that was, but it was,
Yeah.
I was just sending as much as I could back so that they could use it on Instagram and Facebook and create content for us. But next year, we're going to take the team, so that because
proved our point.
we noticed that there's there's a need for that, because just like you say, like you find people with that like-minded interest. We have folks that just want to experience what we're experiencing. They want to go on these trips with us. They want to go on these ventures, and this is the easiest way for it, because we're sharing the experience.
Yep.
And and that's what's so fun about, I think, this new world and this level of technology and the availability to do that is you can, like you said, you can follow Casey Neistat and wander. So you can see what's going on week to week with him.
Yep.
And that's why I think podcasting, YouTube, all that stuff allows folks, because it gives them, it opens the world up. And for me, podcasting and YouTube videos, when I was detailing, I tell people this, when it was just the forums and it wasn't YouTube, it wasn't Facebook, it wasn't groups, it wasn't any of that, detailing was very solitary.
Yeah.
It's you in your brain listening to some music is about all it is.
Yep.
And the only people you have to talk to is someone around you that you can ask a question to. And if you don't have a forum, and you don't have a Facebook group, and you don't have an outlet, it's a very lonely job.
Yep.
In the sense that, well, let me ask my boss. Maybe he knows how to lay this wax right. Or let me ask the guy in the truck that showed up to drop off some detailing supplies. Hey, I was putting this product on the other day and it was acting kind of funny. Oh, I don't really know. Let me call the manufacturer. That was how it worked.
Yeah.
For years. Now,
Treasure trove of information.
It's the most insane amount of information. Guys can just listen to it. And I remember the first few podcasts, detailing related podcasts I listened to. It was like, oh my gosh, these guys this guy was dealing with that same problem 2 years ago. Or finally, someone also has this issue. Or
I'm not alone.
Yeah, and that's how it felt. Was all of a sudden I wasn't alone anymore. And being able to meet other detailers from around the world that literally have gone through the same thing. It was like, oh man, the world just got smaller for me. It was pretty cool.
Yep.
And yeah, having that ability to go on your channel and, hey, I have a question about this product. Well, there's a video, and Pan can describe it for you and tell you how to use it.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Dude, it's coming from an old school detailer, that's a big deal.
It is something
to have that.
Yeah, I do admit. And not only that, but having these collaborations, like look at me today, here I am talking with you guys. Both our audiences will see all this, so they benefit from watching us both. And I just find it opened a whole other world where, like you said, you think you're alone. And then when you realize that, no, you're not. There are other people who love what you do, who enjoy the same type of hobby, or maybe they do it for a living too, because there's the professionals out there too. And they get to realize that, you know what, it is okay that I'm doing this.
Yeah.
My neighbors will look at me film my YouTube videos sometimes, and I'm in my driveway, and I used to do it in English where I had the lengthy intro with Pan the Organizer. So imagine me yelling this for like 10 seconds. Pan.
There's Pan again, who's out there
Looking at
yelling.
this guy with a camera, like, what is he doing? So
It's
the
like
people
a
who don't
mantra
know that
or
you have
something.
this channel, think think you're crazy.
Yeah.
So YouTube is a special world, but it's so important. And today it's the first search engine, I think, for anybody that has a question or who just wants to learn how to do things right, because there is good knowledge out there. It's a fantastic place. And it's nice to see people who take it seriously like you guys do.
Yeah, I think that, like, the one thing I love about YouTube is that I feel, this is just me, but I feel like I could live through so many other people's eyes and you know what I mean, and experience things that I wouldn't experience with that filler, that media filler. Like, basically, like, you know, for a lot of people like watching TV and watching movies, right? And they do that every day, and they watch TV and movies, and they watch their shows and all of that, right?
That's me.
I don't watch any shows. I binge watch shows too. All I watch is YouTube videos, and it's a varying degree of YouTube videos. I'll watch all different styles and types, whether it's car videos, motorcycle videos, detailing videos, you know, things like that. But, you know, my fiance, she'll be over watching. It's a show I can't even believe it's called Unreal. It's a reality TV. It's a show about reality TV. Okay. Right?
This is the natural conclusion.
Think about that. Think about that. A show about reality TV, and I'm sitting there like, why does that exist? What is the benefit of that show at all whatsoever? So it's funny because she'll always say, what are you doing over there? I'm like, just watching YouTube videos. She's like, what are you watching? I'm like, how to change the oil on a Ferrari, you know, F50. And she's like, why do you need to know that? And I'm like, I don't know, but like, I feel like I'm learning something, and I feel like I've taken a lot of the stuff because I'm a very visual person, whether it's through video or audio or physically doing something to learn. So I watch all this stuff, and I'll admit I don't remember everything I watch, but a lot of it is more like I'm trying to educate myself. You know, I'm always watching something. You know, I watched it was like some I don't know, some Indonesian people or something like that across the world build a hut out of sticks, rocks, and mud the other day. I watched a video for 15 minutes watching them how to do this, and I'm like, that is so interesting and very educational to watch. If I'm ever in the jungle and I need to build a hut, that's how I'm going to do it, right?
Did you see the one about the Indian barber? Does that ring a bell? He's the guy who he has his little barber shop, but he does these head massages.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, you're talking. It's the world's greatest head massage, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's probably one of the #1 most viewed videos. I've seen that multiple times, and it's funny because
I want to get a head massage by that guy.
I see that stuff, and I'm like, if I'm in India, like, I guess that's where I'm going, you know, and so.
Well, even like our friend down in Colorado, Denver, Nordstrom's.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay, Jason. Shout out to Jason Dornstar. He is a shoe shiner down in Colorado, right? And he makes shoe shining videos on how to, you know, basically just shining shoes. He works in the back room of Nordstrom's and sets up a GoPro and shines shoes.
Sets up all kinds of different shoes, all different types, like high-end dress shoes, women's shoes.
Passionate about
different materials, different fabrics.
And the dude is good. I'm talking like he makes it look like an art, the way he does it with brushes and towels and things like that.
You know, when he's actually brushing, there's a rhythm, there's
swag in the way he does it. But it was funny because I stumbled across to one of his videos because we had made a shoe cleaning video, right? Because we cleaned. It was random. One day I was like, hey, Dane, I'm going to try out some of this detail product on my shoes. I do it. I'm like,
and I'm like, let's make a video about
it's amazing. Dane's like, I'm grabbing the camera. I'm like, Dane, this is really not that great.
Yeah, they talked one of the girls in downstairs to take her shoes off for the whole day so they could clean her shoes for her.
It's not weird. We just need them for a video. Yeah. It still sounds weird, but it's not.
So we ended up cleaning these shoes, and we ended up uploading it, and then one of his videos was one of our related videos to the one we posted. So I clicked on his, and I watched it. I'm like, dude, he's good, right? And I'm like, I'd be curious to check him out, you know, see if his channel grows at all, right? Dude, he went from, I don't know, 10,000 subscribers to I think he's at 40,000 and
for shoe shining,
in like 4 months or something like that, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, holy crap!
And it's therapeutic. And you can watch it, and you're like, this is satisfying.
This is relaxing. So I contacted him. I said, hey, I noticed that you're using some really bad towels. Like you're using really very old cotton towels. I said, I'd be interested to see how microfiber works for shoe shining. You know, can I send you a couple to try out? He was all about it. So I sent him a couple couple towels, different varieties, edgeless 365, edgeless 245s, send him some 300s, Eagle 350s, send him a couple detailing brushes, a couple just
One of our big
things,
fender defenders, the big suede,
and I sent him a
trowel.
bunch of stickers, and his feedback was really important to me because I was really curious, and he was like,
we had nothing to base it on.
Yeah. And he hits me up. He's like, dude, I'm blown away. He's like, I can't believe it. He's like, microfiber, like this has changed the way I shine shoes. And I'm like, get out of here, dude.
Yeah, and he's been
You're-
using like cheesecloth and cotton and
all sorts of different
linen
things.
So the
and
classic ways of making shoes.
what's the other one? It's a fabric.
It's like I don't know what
super
it is.
thin.
Yeah, it's like
kind
a
of-
very thin,
not
final
cheesecloth,
shine.
but not like a cotton. It's like
almost
a,
like
kind
a-
of chamois.
No, it
it's-
looks like a stocking. It looks like what you would wear on like a.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm talking about another fabric that they usually make muslin. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he hits me up.
what
He's
green
like, yeah,
screens are
it's
made of.
changed the way I shine shoes. I'm like, are you kidding me? And so he made a video, one of his first videos, where he used our products. He was like, I don't even need to use my final brushes for anything, right? He's like, literally, it's a one step. Take the microfiber towel to it, finish it out, it's done.
So you helped him up his game.
And so he's like, yeah, not only am I faster, I'm better. He's like the qualities, the quality outcome is better. He's like the shine is better, and he's like these towels can take some serious abuse because what he's doing is it's funny because as a shoe shiner they like using strips of fabric rather than a whole giant towel. So he just grabs the edgeless version and he just with the grain cuts them into strips, which.
We never recommend
we never recommend
but he
doing
does
that,
it, and
but
he likes it
for
that way.
car detailing, but he does it for shoe shining, and it works out perfect for him. And it's just one of the many, I don't know, I call it getting lost on YouTube, and where you kind of go from one video to one video to one video, and next thing you know, you're watching a dude getting a head massage, and you're like, how did I get here, right? This is weird.
And at the beginning, you're like, this is ridiculous. Why am I watching this? And then the girlfriend's laughing in the background, but then one more video, two more videos.
Mm-hmm.
Three and
And
four.
it's like, hold
And
on, I
then
want to see another.
I want to go there.
Yeah.
I want to have
Well,
that
yeah.
massage.
Well, and like my kids, they are addicted to YouTube Kids, and YouTube Kids is an unbelievable platform in the sense that it's videos of kids playing with toys. It's parents and their kids playing their own videos, and then it's also toy reviews. And
That's massive.
That's it. And my kids I'll watch my little boy
Binge
play,
watch.
and he'll binge watch, and he'll go, "Can I watch YouTube Kids?" And I'll say, "Not tonight. I don't want you on there." And he's like, so he plays his other games when he gets his iPad for a little bit. And then other nights he's like, "Can I do half YouTube Kids, half like one of my games?" And I'm like, "All right, but I'm going to tell you when it's over." And so I'll set a timer for 5 minutes or whatever, and he'll watch, and he will literally watch 2 minutes of one, and then he'll pull up the screen for the next video, and he'll like scroll, and then he'll pick another video, and that'll come up, and then he'll scroll, and then he'll pull up a video that he watched the week
That's
before.
amazing for a channel.
and
Watch time is through the roof.
yeah, and he'll watch 2-3 minutes at a time of a channel or of a video, and then he'll go to the next one. And I'm like, no wonder these people have millions of hits
they
and
get more
views.
views than anything else on
The
YouTube.
No wonder
Kids
these
is the best
parents
audience.
literally don't have it. Like, they don't work. They just make
Yep.
videos with their kids, and a lot of it's just playtime. They've just set up a camera. Hey, today we're gonna. It's imaginary, and it's wild.
Especially if your kids have a special personality or something that comes off as out of the ordinary. Yeah, that's
And it's crazy, but to watch them do that, it's a whole other thing. But I remember when I first started seeing it, or hearing about it, Matt Ward, who runs Hawks or runs Lupo now, he talked about his son was watching a kid play a video game on YouTube, and he was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Watching this kid play this game," and he was like,
Wouldn't you
Why
rather
are
play
you-
the
why
game
don't- why don't
yourself?
you
"Why
play
are
that
you
game?"
doing
YouTube
that?
is-
Like, you have that game." He's like, "I'm just watching how he's doing it," and he was like,
Twitch and YouTube have opened
What?
that
It's crazy.
portal into
Yeah.
gaming,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, but it's a whole other world now. And for us, we look at it as, like we had said earlier when we were showing you around, there are no rules
Yeah.
in what you want to do. And as long as there's nothing stopping you physically from making a video or doing a video, do a video.
Yeah.
Like, there have been times where some of our best videos have been spontaneous. Anthony and
That's
Dane
true.
or myself figure out, like, ooh, let's do this, to the point that we'll be running around the halls, giggling, videoing ourselves doing stuff. And Jeff and Carolyn are in their office going, what's going on?
What are
We're
you
making a
kids
video.
doing
Don't
out there?
don't
Yeah.
worry about it.
they have very little say in the stuff that goes out on our channel. They'll suggest things that they hope we at some point do, or if there's like a priority, some things get moved up the ladder, the list of things we're doing. But most of the stuff is stuff we just kind of go, wouldn't it be fun if we just, and
Yeah.
we fill in the blank. Whatever weird idea comes to mind, hey, maybe we can make a video like that. And
Yeah.
sometimes it happens,
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't.
But those are always the best ones because we literally, there's no one saying, ooh, I really need you guys to do a video on BeatMaker describing the qualities, the benefits, the pros, the cons, all that stuff. It's like,
there's no Lumberg waiting for you to file your TPS reports.
Jeff's not breathing down our neck going, hey, guys, I need videos on IK. I need videos on brushes.
That's
I need
awesome.
videos on grit guard. I need all this, and I need it by Friday. Like, no.
I get your point on the letting creativity do its thing, and you never know if it's going to have success. Like if I look at my own channel, one of my top video, and it's the how to apply ceramic coating on your car. It has 2.2 million views at this point.
Oh, wow.
Roughly
Yeah.
a year online.
Wow.
Number one ranked on YouTube for ceramic coatings. And I remember thinking to myself before shooting it, because it wasn't that popular on YouTube yet, or at least explaining how to properly do it. Like, am I wasting time? Are people going to think that it's too complicated and it's a space age technology thing? That is it true? Some people thought it was a mysterious product that maybe
snake
wasn't
oil.
real, snake oil. So I'm like, you know what? No. So I did it, and I almost said, forget it. I'm going to delete it. And look today, like it's one of my best videos.
Yeah.
So you never know. Another thing I want to know about you guys: did you get this? And you viewers out there, I'm sure you know who you are if you've written this time a comment. And I love you guys for this, by the way. But there are some people sometimes who will just write, "Listen, man, I love your videos so much. I don't know why I watch them, but I don't even own a car." I like watching detailing
got
videos.
some.
we've got
Isn't
some
that
like that.
amazing? So I realized that they like the therapeutic aspect of just watching somebody do a proper professional job and loving what he's doing, and they'll just sit back, relax, and look this person do all the effort, and they're eating popcorn or enjoying their favorite drink or whatever, and they get something soothing out of it.
Yeah.
So
There's something
it's not only people
enjoyable.
who like detailing cars that'll watch our videos.
Right, just watching somebody who's proficient or competent at something
It's so
do that
satisfying.
thing, and you're like, wow,
Like the barber.
that's satisfying. Somebody
the best
did
in the
something
world.
competently.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't tell you how many videos I've watched of Gordon Ramsay just cooking things, and I'm like,
he's awesome.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this looks awesome, right? As I'm eating just something totally different,
Yeah.
right? Katie will always look at me. She's like, why are you watching a different video on food other than the food that you're eating? And I'm like, I'm not really sure, but I feel like my food tastes better
There you go.
watching
I totally
this,
understand that.
watching this, and I'm
Those
sitting
endorphins
there.
are just...
And I'm looking at this video. I'm
exactly.
like, if it tastes better, it looks better. I'm having a good time watching this. But
There you
it's what I would say the biggest thing, though. I tell people that, especially when they ask if about YouTube videos and things like that, revolving work, and they say, how do you get started in that? And how would you do that? And I said, are you good at anything? I always ask them, like, what are you really good at? And they'll look at me and they'll be like, I don't know. I'm pretty good at knitting things. I'm like, are you pretty
subject.
good?
There's
And
your
they're like,
answer.
I'm like, could you teach somebody how to knit something? And they're like, oh yeah, I could absolutely do that. I'm like, literally grab your phone, set it up on a shelf, right? Grab it. Doesn't have to be high production. Press the start button.
Yep.
Start knitting something. Press it when you're done. Take that on your phone. Go straight to YouTube. Give it a title. Upload it. Don't worry about a thumbnail. Don't worry about
Exactly.
anything. And just put it out there and see what happens.
You're so
right?
right.
And it's funny because there's some of the most viewed videos on YouTube don't have any SEO, don't have any tags, don't have anything in the description.
They have the least
and they have the
thought
least
put into 'em.
amount
It's just
of
natural.
anything.
Yep,
Just
it went viral.
They just put it out. It goes viral. It becomes huge. And
And you don't even have to be the best knitter sometimes. Just a knitter with an attitude,
Just
or a knitter with a
have
bigger than
something.
life personality. Who knows?
As long as you're
Put it out
competent,
there.
you can...
Yeah, you just have
And
something.
even if you're not, sometimes that's the hook. You're
Yep.
terrible at something, and
Exactly.
it's fun to watch.
Yep.
There's people that do literally, I mean, you have to think about it, like one of the biggest channels out there is Unbox Therapy, whatever it is,
Yep.
where
He's Canadian,
literally
by the way.
it's just which great, he's interesting to watch. It's always fun to watch, but literally he has made a living making multi-million dollars, right?
Yep.
Off of just sitting in front of a camera, unboxing things, giving his thoughts on things, and having a personality behind the
It's a
camera.
whole genre.
And that's what he does, right? He puts production into it. He puts a little bit of thing into it, but this is what his job is, and he's living a huge lifestyle. And so for people, for the everyday person, right, who just wants to get started on YouTube or maybe eventually have YouTube as a career, I would say if you're just getting started, get yourself a job, and if you're in the U.S., Canada is a little bit different. Get yourself a job. Get yourself some health insurance, right?
Yeah.
And then, have a job just for that. Then push on the channel, and then try to make something of that eventually.
Absolutely.
And you can have like the best of both worlds. You could have two incomes, but then really put your work into that, but then have that extra health coverage. And then eventually, once you go full time on YouTube, there you go.
That's
all you do.
Yep.
And it's just finding something you're passionate about, finding something that you don't necessarily have to be that great at it, but have something that you can bring to the table.
Or that you do differently or better than someone else.
Yeah.
You might
There's a lot
have
of different
special
aspects
access
you
to
too.
something unique perspective on
Exactly.
something.
Yeah.
You work
And-
at a zoo and they allow you to take your
and
camera
there's a lot
behind
of
the scenes or
and it's
whatever.
funny because there's a lot of people who have talked to you about this before, and they're like, I don't really, I don't like my face being on camera. I don't want people to see me on camera. And I'm like, what's really crazy is the fact that you don't even have to put your face on
Yeah.
the camera. You could do everything in first
Disembodied
person.
hands,
you
doing
could
everything.
You could do just hands, right? And as weird as that is, you could
Yeah,
you could
there are
still be
people that-
successful.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's crazy. And
Anthony, your all day Anthony channel is one
Stop
of those.
talking about that. So yeah, I've never shown my face, but I mean, I show my face on the Rag Company stuff all the time. But
Yep.
it's just I've never had to, and I still enjoy it, and people still watch my videos, and I don't mind it. And so but that's one thing that I like to do, and I tell people, other people that are good at things, and it's the same thing with podcasting, right? You don't have to. I mean,
we don't have to video our podcast.
we don't have
but
to
we
video
do.
our podcast,
Yeah.
but honestly, we're just three guys that come from different backgrounds
We're
that get
not
together and have
expert
a
talk show hosts or
Yeah, we're just three
anything
dudes
of
hanging
that
out.
nature. People a lot of times just want to be a fly on the wall and
Exactly.
capture a conversation. Oh, that's interesting. What are those guys
and
talking
what
about?
I also notice is like with headphones, you feel like you're in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Like you say, not just a fly on the wall, but you're in the conversation.
Right,
And maybe
yeah.
while you're listening to the podcast, you respond. You can reply back. You can
Mm-hmm.
give your 2 cents. Like, oh, come on, Anthony. Oh, like
Yeah.
because we do. We got fans that listen to the podcast that literally do that. And I know when I was working and I'd put in my podcasts, I would do the same thing. I'd crack up laughing and fall into tears just laughing with the podcast and the guys on it and the ones that were talking that had something funny to say, or they'd have something that they needed to agree with or argue with and was like, yeah, no, why can't you do that? Or yeah, I don't agree with that. Like you just say it out loud even when you're there, but you
Yeah.
feel like you're part of it. And we've had customers who have shown up here that are fans of the podcast that literally, know everything. They've been with us every week.
Yeah, that's something.
They're like, hey, that's great. Hey, Dane, did you get your belt changed on your Miata? I
notice
saw you
all the
posted
details,
that.
Hey, Anthony, how are
Yeah.
those wheels looking?
Yeah.
That you bought the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no, and it's wild because,
is
for
wild.
us, it's, they know everything about us, but
Yep.
we don't know anything about
Exactly.
them. Like, and that's the hard part. But that was also like what your girl was saying with you coming here was you've never met these guys and you're going to go spend a couple days with them.
I know
and
them.
it's
Aren't
like,
you
I look at
nervous?
them
well, I
every
know
day.
them because we watch each other, and our goal is that hopefully we see, that we are as we are on
Yep.
camera.
Yep,
And
same thing.
and that's been really nice is the people that we have met. We've been pleasantly surprised that they are exactly who they say they are, and we've also had people where, we've won them over.
Yeah.
Maybe they went into it like, I just don't know. I'm gonna.
That's true,
and then they get done. They're like, man, you guys are
That was awesome. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm going to drop a name. Jason Rose was a little worried
yeah.
when we went down in January to do the podcast for the IDA.
Yeah.
And he was like,
Was it the one where you guys were all around the table
Yeah.
there? And
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
Super
And-
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, I don't know if you guys can do this. I'm just, I'm a little hesitant, and
Like, what's your
and,
platform?
what's
How
your
do you guys
platform? How are you
get
going to do
this?
that? And I was like, don't worry, Jason. Like, well, we got it, man. Don't worry. And he's like, oh, okay. All right.
It's so funny though. Now Jason
And-
just wants to hang out all the time.
But-
I want to
but-
hang out with Jason. I want to
Jason's
go.
a great dude.
But he was very,
Yeah.
just a little guarded and just wanted to make sure. He's like, because he had heard from others saying, oh, the Rag Company guys, let them do that. They're awesome at it. And he's like, I've never met them. I don't really know.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Find out for yourself.
But as soon as we
Exactly.
did, we got done, and it translated to the others that were around that table. We're like, wow, you guys did a great job. That was really nice. We really enjoyed when are you can we do this?
That's
and
an awesome feeling.
And, not only did it change Jason, but it also changed those 8 other people that we were with who maybe some of them had been with us and knew and were like old hands and no problem, bud. I'll go wherever you need me to. But the others that weren't, they had a lot of positive things to go like, you guys are great. And I think a lot of that one comes from meeting, but also having that ability to see and vet a person. Now with social media, we joke that when we hire folks here, that's one of our questions. We're like, just so you know, we're pretty big on social media. how's your social media?
Is there anything on your social media that we need to be aware of, right?
Yeah.
Do we, is there anything we're going to see that shouldn't be seen?
Yeah. And they're always like, I don't think so, but we do try and make sure that, everything is the way it is, because now that's just your life.
Exactly.
Being out, having that, people know who we are. People know about Anthony and his fiance's wedding plans because you've talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm truly expecting people to be at that venue on that date and just be like, surprise! I'm like, oh gosh, you're here. I've never met you before.
Dane, people know that they could call in on a Saturday and Dane's probably here, even if he's not scheduled to be here. He's here working on something.
Yep.
And it's that, and so it's pretty wild and exciting to be in this industry now and to be able to do this stuff. But it is surprising how simple and easy it is to add. Like I said, our first podcast, we had the Zoom sitting at the center of the table with a trifold piece of cardboard with towels on it, and the three of us just sat and talked to the towels.
We weren't even in this room. We were actually in that room over there, which is an even more desolate room. And it was so funny because the whole podcast idea, it was Dane's idea, which was the best idea he's ever had.
We were eating barbecue, talking about doing a podcast.
And he's like, we should do a podcast. And I look at him like, Dane, that's a stupid idea.
They told me that.
We're doing a podcast. We're a towel company. How are we going to do a podcast about that? He's like, guys, let's just try it and see what happens, right?
Great idea.
And we got on this podcast, and he provoked conversation. He started bringing it up. And I was sitting there kind of my arms. You guys couldn't see because we didn't video anything.
No.
I'm sitting there kind of like,
oh, that's what I was going to ask. Is there any video evidence
What
of
do
that
we-
towel thing?
No,
not
I
those
wish
ones.
there
Towel
was.
We thought about it because we were like, let's figure out, but we had no Wi-Fi up here.
No. Okay.
And so it was very hard
Yeah.
to do with our phones and try and get it to.
Well, and what do we I think we did two or three podcasts inside that room.
I pushed for it because I happened to be at a very good time where we had just been on a few trips. It was just after
Some downtime.
the Air Force thing and SEMA coming up and all
Technically,
this other stuff.
it was a year ago this month or last month.
Yeah,
Last
actually,
month.
the podcast is a
1 year
year old
in
as
August.
of-
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he had this idea, and it was just so funny because sitting there, I'm kind of a negative Nancy about it. I'm trying to be positive. I'm just
I
like,
like Anthony because he keeps us really focused.
I'm just thinking, I'm like,
he's the realist.
is this gonna be, is this gonna be worth our time? And it was funny because Dane, he's like, hey, I have some analytics here. We're getting some hits. Things are looking good, right? Next thing you know, he shows Jeff, his dad, the owner, and next thing you know, Jeff's like, all right, what do we need to build this podcast studio? And I'm like, is this happening? This is actually happening.
And then we got high putting all this foam on the wall.
all this adhesive.
This is hardcore stuff.
We had adhesive
much
and
adhesive.
foam, and next thing you know, we're in here setting everything up. We're setting up lighting, microphones. I found this desk and
On Craigslist.
So we went down the street, this was a nightmare desk right here. I'll just briefly
You had
talk
to
about
get it
this.
out of a man's house.
We went to a guy's house.
Yeah.
It's a 2-story house, beautiful house by the way. 2-story house down a flight of stairs that was 3 levels. So it was like one split platform, 2, 3 down, and basically he was like, all right, Jeff, can you and Anthony do this? The guy was like, I got to take a phone call. So we're in this random guy's house. It's just me and Jeff here. Both of us had back issues. Like
This table is heavy.
Yeah, I pulled
It's
my
3
back.
pieces, but it's insane.
Jeff had pulled his back, and Jeff's like, Anthony, he's like, how much you love your job? I'm like, I love it. And he's like, it's all about let's do it. Let's make it happen. So 2 crippled guys taking a desk down these stairs, and we
took
got it
6
in.
of us to get it up here.
Yeah.
All this.
And trust me, it's heavy.
The 2 of them got it down, and they were like, we're done.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
not
we're not
leaving
getting
this
it up
room.
we're not getting
No.
it up the stairs. That's all you guys. And we're like, all right.
But you guys see, you went ahead and you did it.
Yeah,
At
we
one
did
point,
it.
you just have to
And-
say, you know what? Let's run with the idea and do it.
Yeah, and here we are, and now it's like
It's
we
like
have-
breathing. It's so natural now. Every week it's...
Yeah, I can tell you
let's
guys
do
are
it.
naturals at
And
this.
we love it. I look forward to it every week, and it's funny because stuff will happen over the weekend, and I don't know how things continue to happen.
No, we'll literally
but-
try not to talk to each other until the podcast.
Yeah, and,
so you keep it,
well,
we got
'cause
it.
I'm
So-
like, I got a crazy story, and Dane's like, save it for the podcast. And I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
But
it is.
That's kind of how it works. So it's awesome to have you on the podcast. It's awesome to.
I know, sorry we talk so much about our stuff, but we want to include
being
you in
here.
it too.
But what? So
I had a blast. By the way, do you ever remind them? Because I just learned this today. By the way, guys, he's employee number 1. Do you ever remind them that you're employee number 1?
Well, we call him the prince of the rag company.
I get that a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I make these guys the faces of the rag company. Honestly, I'm kind of the third face that's not really there on the camera, but I'm right behind
He's
it.
the voice.
always, so
He's the voice.
I
in
am the disembodied
microphone.
voice of microfiber.
A lot of videos.
so to speak.
As
So you were the
Dane's
first
voice.
one hired? How long ago were you hired?
That was back in 2012, 2013. That
That's
was
a while
back
back,
then. So
yeah.
it's been a while.
You saw the company
but,
grow. That's crazy.
Yeah. So that's been so cool though. Just to be able to do that. If you
Well,
like the
and the
Rag
fact
Company
is-
logo, I'm going to toot my horn. I did make that.
Yep.
Yeah. Dane did make
That's
that.
My finger at. I can't
Yeah,
get
yeah.
it. There, it's over there.
Iconic-
What I
iconic
wanted
logo.
to say real quick was just because we're talking about all this and getting to know people and everything. Pan, we've known you for a while online, but meeting you in person, you're every bit the person we hoped you would
Aw,
be.
Yep.
Thanks,
He
guys.
is.
really
He is.
appreciate it.
He is. I know. And
He's a good dude.
I think we'll just be honest.
We
and
literally
open
got
that
in the car.
We always wonder what's it gonna be like when we meet some
We
people
don't know, like somebody
online.
could seem
Yeah.
cool in videos and they could be a
We
total weirdo in real
Yeah,
life. You
you never
don't
know.
We don't know, and so we just say, hey, but we always go with the flow, and no matter what, we always try to be as nice as possible. We always just try to be ourselves, and it always seems to work out.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
far,
know.
we
That's
haven't
pretty
been
cool, eh?
disappointed.
Yeah.
No, and
That was my next question. Do you guys ever have like a negative surprise without naming names there? But oh boy.
No, everybody that we've had on the channel or in the show, they're friends, and it's like I think the funnest time we ever had was we back to backed. We had KXK Dynamics, we had Jason come here, do an event, all that stuff. Then we had Dylan come do an event from Rupes, or we went to Rupes to do stuff with them.
Yeah.
And then the 3 companies, Rag Company, Rupes, and KXK, all of us went back east to Detailer's Domain for the Detailer's Domain open house.
With Phil.
But we were all in the same hotel. And
We hung out and
we
had
hung
a
out
podcast.
and we were there
awesome.
for 3
That's
days.
awesome.
And so it wasn't like, it's weird to think like, oh, these 3 companies that are here representing representing their brands and are here to teach and educate. But it was 3 buddies going on a trip together,
Having fun.
and just having fun. We'd go out to dinner at night. We just had a blast. It was definitely it was one of the highlights of this year was to be able to do that with
Yeah.
those guys
Yeah.
and just have fun. And that's kind of what Mobile Tech and SEMA become too, is this chance to hook up with our friends and have fun and see each other and spend time with each other and do this, but also provide and create content.
Yep.
And I think that's what most people don't seem to understand in the detailing industry. The longer you get in it, the deeper you go into it, the smaller the family is, so to speak. The world gets a lot smaller.
Absolutely.
And
Those separations, those distances, they don't seem quite as...
right. Well, and having Facebook and having YouTube and all that, it does bridge all those gaps. But the detailing industry is very small.
Yeah.
It's not this huge, massive, masked entity. People learn. People know who they're talking to. People know who they are and who's who. And unbeknownst to a lot of people, everybody's really cool with each other. And all the heads of the different companies, everybody gets along and everybody's friendly and kind. And it's not something to burn a bridge
No.
because you never know when you're going to cross it.
Exactly.
And
Or if you're going to switch companies one day and work for
yeah,
another
exactly,
brand, and
exactly. And there are guys that have worked for one company and gone to work for another, or
Dylan's a great example.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so there's a lot of that where you be nice and you hold yourself to a certain professionalism and life in the way you treat others and the way you expect to be treated, because you never know what it's gonna. You don't know how it's going to change or how it's going to affect.
Absolutely.
Especially when you're public and like ourselves with the company.
Yeah.
We try to treat everybody with respect and the way we hope that they would treat us. And so to have companies that have now become good friends of ours and have these benefits and have fellow YouTubers that have become friends of ours that have come to us and folks like yourself, it means a lot to us because for us, we're just 3 dudes trying to make things work best we can.
And
You're
what I
doing a
wanted
great
to
job.
point out
Thank you.
about that was basically people get these impressions of faceless corporations and giant businesses and all this stuff. I think a big part of what we try and do, in addition to the educational aspect of our videos, our podcasts, that stuff, is to bring a human element to
That's
it
such a great way to
and
see
be
it.
people. Don't be, just some company stooge who's sitting there, oh, I got my
When the guys
product
see you and show
this
us
is
they-
how it
they
works,
swear
and
they're
that's
not
it, and
company
the video's
guys.
over. It's like, no, we kind of want to have a little personality injected into it.
They can
maybe
identify
you
with
like
you
it,
guys.
maybe you don't, but, at least it's something, and it's more than just, paint by numbers approach to
Yes.
things. Because there's definitely, you get companies where they feel like, oh, no, we can't show any personality in our videos, because if we do that, people might say that they don't like us, so we just have to show what the product does, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's one approach, but that's kind of an old school approach.
Yep.
So we like to think that this is the new era where you can actually be a personality and you can adapt that stuff. And with a lot of these other companies, we try and use our channel and our podcast as a platform to bring these people on and give them an opportunity like, hey, more so than just working for this company, look at what a person this person is. Like
Exactly.
they have, quirks and it's fun and they have stuff they like to do that's not just detailing. Like there's a lot of that I hope through this stuff we can bring out of people.
Yeah.
And thus make the, audiences appreciate those brands, those people more, knowing that they're supporting other people and not just a faceless corporation.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
thank you, Pan, for
My
being
pleasure.
part of
Yeah,
this
thank
and
you.
coming and hanging
It
out
was
with
a
us.
blast. And we have more content tomorrow, by the way. So
Yes.
this is
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
the end
Oh,
of it.
no.
there.
No.
Yeah.
There's a lot of videos yet to come. We'll probably shoot another podcast with you.
Yeah, we
before
might
we
do
go,
some
'cause
more. Maybe
I
let's
feel
do-
like
bring
there's
it
a
on.
lot of info still yet to come. So
Yep.
anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. If you're watching, you're probably on the Rag Company Podcast YouTube channel. I just want to point out that is a different channel than the Rag Company YouTube channel. We've made them separate so that you can get all your long-form content over there. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you know when, the releases come out.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, thank you again. Thank you, Pan, for being our guest.
Yeah, thanks,
And
Pan.
we're going to have some fun this week, right?
It's gonna be a
Oh, yeah.
blast.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, take care.
See
Have a
ya.
good one.